Hey everybody, welcome to this new episode, and let's go ahead and get started. And I just have standard Blender 2.8 beta. I'm just going to hit A to select all, X for delete, and delete them. And then I'm going to right click on this area down here, in between the two windows, and click join area, and I'm going to go ahead and join that area together. Next I'm going to hit Shift A and come up here to Mesh and UV Sphere, and I'm just going to use 16 for both. 16 segments, 16 rings. Alright, and then I'm going to hit S for size, type 10, and hit enter. So this is going to be our earth mesh. So I'm just going to type in earth underscore mesh. I'm going to duplicate my earth mesh now, Shift D, and enter. And now this earth mesh, I'm going to call it clouds mesh. And I'll get rid of that 0001. And then I'm going to scale it up 1.01. Okay, that's much better. And then one more time, Shift D, duplicate, and hit enter. And then scale, and this time we can hit 1.05. Okay, and then this last sphere, we're going to go ahead and call it atmosphere. Atmosphere underscore mesh. Right. And then last but not least, we'll go ahead and select our earth mesh, hit Shift D, and enter. And then I'm going to hit 1 on my keyboard, and I'm going to scale this down, let's see, to maybe 0.3. And then hitting 7 on my keyboard, I'm going to move this back. So that it kind of looks as if it is the sun. Yeah, we'll scale it down a little bit more. Something, let's see, what's that scale at? The scale right now is, we'll do a 0.25. Okay, and then this one we can just call our sun mesh. And let's go ahead and start texturing. Actually, I shouldn't have closed that timeline. Alright, shader editor, and let's go ahead and select the earth mesh, and then come down here to shader. I'm going to add in a new mesh material, and I'm going to call this earth underscore shader. And then I'm going to grab the clouds, hit new, and call this clouds underscore shader, and then atmosphere underscore shader, and then the sun underscore shader. So the sun is going to be the easiest. We're just going to go ahead and hit X on that principal BDSF, hit Shift A, and then search, and we're going to search for an emission. Grab that emission shader and just plug that into the surface. And then last but not least, we're just going to change the color so that it's a little more yellowish. Yeah, I want it a little bit more. And we'll fine tune that later. Okay, there you go. Sun is done. But also we should add a modifier and smooth all of these. So hit A, and then come here to Object and Shade Smooth, and then grab our sun and go ahead and come to the Modifiers tab and then choose Subdivision Surface. And now let's go ahead and grab our Earth, Shift select our clouds, Shift select our atmosphere, and then Shift select our sun, and hit Control L so that it brings up the Make Links menu, and then come down here to Modifier. And you can see now all of our objects have that Subdivision Surface modifier. Okay, now let's go ahead and grab our Earth mesh, and I'll come here to Edit, Preferences, Add-ons, and search for Node Wrangler just to make sure that that's turned on. And then I'll come here to the principled BDSF, making sure that my Earth shader is selected, and hit Control T. And now you can see that I have a texture that will go along with our UV coordinates. It's got a mapping node and an image texture node. I'll hit Open, and you can see here we're already in the Earth tutorial section. I'll go into Textures, and then World Topography Small, just like that. Perfect. If I want to see if that texture is applied, I can hide my clouds and my atmosphere, and then come here and turn on that option there, the Look Dev option. Okay, that's great. I'm just going to choose all three of these nodes and hit Shift D to duplicate them and pull them down and out, and then I'm going to open this up again and come here to the Gebco Rev Elevation. I'm going to choose the small one that we made, hit Open Image, and then I'm going to hit Shift A, search for a bump node. And now that I have that bump node, I'll take the color and plug that into the height, and then I'll take the normal and plug that into the normal. Okay? And then I'll also take the color here and plug it into the roughness. That makes our world look really interesting. You can see here, this is what the bump map is doing. So we can choose to keep that at 1, or we can bring that down. And then just to be able to control that, I'll add in a ramp node right in between. So by selecting the black part of the ramp node and then changing that color from all the way black, I can adjust the roughness. And I want a little bit of shine there, because that's water and so it's a little bit shiny. Okay, I'll hit Control S to save, and there we go. Next, let's go to our clouds. So I'll select my clouds sphere. Same thing as before, I'll just select my principled BDSF, Control T, and then I'll go to Open, and Textures, and Clouds Small. Now, you can see that the clouds are applied, but we can't see through them. So we needed to invert the black to the white, so we added in an invert node here that inverts all the colors, and then we can connect that invert node to the base color of our principled BDSF, and then we can take that invert node and also connect it to the factor of our shader. You can see if I disconnect that, all of a sudden our shader breaks. Next, we need to add in a transparent node, and the transparent node goes at the bottom of the shader, and the principled BDSF goes at the top. And since we're using Eevee, it's very important that we set the blend mode here of our entire shader to alpha blend. And now you can see that we have clouds. I can even have this selected and hit R and Z and rotate our clouds around our Earth. So for the atmosphere, let's go ahead and have a principled BDSF, and we'll hit Shift A, search, and add in a transparency node as well. And Shift A and search and add in a mixed shader. And just like we did with the clouds, we want the principled on the top, the transparent on the bottom, and then we want to change the blend mode to alpha blend. And then we want Shift A, search, and we want to find the layer weight node. And then we'll take the facing toggle here and put that into the factor. And while that's nice, that's not quite what we're looking for. That's more what we're looking for. We want kind of the outside edges fade to kind of give an atmospheric look. We can take the base color and we can change it to something a little bluish. It's a little too purple. A little bluish. Okay, and once that is done, then I believe if we take the blend here and change that number to maybe 0.1, you can see that we have an atmosphere around the Earth. Maybe we can just scale that atmosphere in just a hair. Thanks for watching this episode. If you liked what you learned here, please like and subscribe the video. Leave a comment if you have something to say, and I will see you next time.